skeeve pregnant stomachs. I can't touch it. I have a fear. Like even like all my friends, when everybody was pregnant, they'd be like, "Oh my god, like feel her shit." I'm like,
Feel her
I
shit.
can see it moving from here.
Yeah.
I'm good. And like even my best friend, one of my best friends, when she was pregnant, I was like, she was like, come take a picture with me. I give myself like 2 or 3 inches away from the stomach, so it looks like I'm touching them in pictures, but never physical contact. I can't do it. I don't know what.
Now that you've said that, I kind of think I could tell that in the pictures that you're
I've
kind of
never touched a
posed.
pregnant stomach. I can't do it. It's so fucking weird for me. I don't know why.
I mean, I don't know. I am not a touchy-feely person, so I don't understand the need to like touch someone else's private area. I mean,
People
it's not
in
their
public
private,
are
but-
going to touch you, and
I
it's
know.
fucking violating.
I know. I don't
And you're like,
it.
and I'm okay. I'm very feely and touchy and like, hi, blah, blah. When they would touch me in person, I'd be like, okay.
But also too,
All
like,
right.
isn't the big thing like you don't want to get sick when you're pregnant? Isn't that germs like having random people that
Not
you
only
don't
that,
know?
it's like juju. Like, don't
touch
touch
you?
me with your bad vibes.
Yeah. Yes.
Like, cause like you saw me in Target doesn't mean you run up to me like, oh my god, let me touch the baby. Like, I want to be like, step off, bitch. But I couldn't.
This
'cause
is my public service announcement, my PSA to all y'all. Don't
don't
touch the stomach.
touch it.
Don't touch it. Don't touch
Pretend it has Ebola. Don't touch the stomach.
We're gonna post a picture on our Instagram. Please make it go viral. Everyone
Yeah.
needs to know.
Please don't pet the belly.
I want people on the street to know that's me from the picture and not touch
That's
my
gonna be the
stomach.
name of this episode, guys. Don't frickin' worry.
So, rewinding a little bit. So, all the ultrasounds have been good. Feel good. My doctor said don't relate how you're feeling to how the baby is. Consider yourself lucky.
Mm-hmm.
That struck a chord with me, and I'm like, okay, you're lucky. You're lucky.
Yeah.
Baby's fine. So it's been a different experience, I think, because of my loss. I think it's been I think until that baby's here, I'm going to be like a crazy person.
I think you're going to be a crazy person when the baby is here as
Yeah.
well. But I
agree. No, agree. But
you're gonna be like extra like, don't touch her. If you're sick, you can't come in my house.
Paranoid.
Wait the 3 months until you could leave with the baby out of the house. Like, you're just gonna be that mom, I feel.
you know what's the craziest part? It's weird because you want to say, I wanted this baby more than I ever did because of the miscarriage.
It's weird
right?
though, because you really didn't want anything before
I know.
that.
I'm so fucked up. I'm so
Like, you were
fucked
like,
up.
I would come hang out with you, Ashley, and the girls, except for like, I don't want kids ever. So I'm like, okay. I want a baby so bad. And I was like, where did the switch happen?
But even now, I feel strange to complain about like my fear of labor and my fear of just like
fear of labor
the
is a real
unknown.
thing.
But like, I feel like I should be appreciative after everything. Do you know what I mean?
No, there's no appreciation that will not be understood with the fear of labor.
Like
It's reasons I won't have another baby is because I'm like, I don't fucking know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
3 pregnancies I don't
Yeah.
know, and I don't want to do it ever again. It's not fun.
I can't believe you're done.
But
I'm
it's
so lucky.
right. I'm like,
So sick.
there's nothing somebody could do to get me pregnant again. Nothing. But like, I'm so excited for everyone else's pregnancies. It's weird.
Yeah.
I'm like, 2020 is the year of the pregnant baby, so I'm like running around being like, oh my god, who's pregnant now? So I could live through them.
Like, you were pregnant at my wedding. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
It's crazy to think about.
yeah. And I was in like 7-inch heels and a dress.
I
And,
was on my honeymoon when I found out Julian was a boy.
yeah,
I remember like the moment where I was.
yeah.
It's crazy.
The pizza reveal.
Yeah. I remember it
Manja.
very clearly, like being away with Denny and like being so like it was like the best. It was the best. I'm
Yes,
crying.
we were
Okay,
like
go.
so excited for a boy. I cannot wait for Jessica's reveal. I keep asking her. I'm like, when do we find out? When do we find out? And it's like so annoying because I'm like hounding
Wednesday is
her.
my
It's
appointment.
like the day after this airs is the appointment.
I have so that's another test that I'm so freaked out about. So you find out the gender, but you also do like
Blood work.
So
Mhm.
they test for like Downs and all
Yeah.
that stuff. That's like a whole nother step. I'm like freaking out about.
I had a down scare
You
with
did?
Jaden. Yeah, they told me that she was.
Huh?
Well, they told me my tests were inconclusive when we can't tell you anything, but we can't tell you that she's not. And it was like I was just like,
What?
I had fear because I was like, I'm not a patient
Did you
person.
tell people this? I don't remember.
No,
this.
never. I don't think. But I was a patient. I'm like such a patient person when it comes to certain things. But like, I always give credit to like people who have special needs kids that I'm
Sure.
like, I can't imagine how they do it because I don't have that level of patience for that. Do you know what I
Mhm.
mean? And it's, but
Mhm.
the whole time they were like, oh, we got to get these test results back to you. And I was like, I don't care. Like, don't give me another option to take the test results because like I'm
It
not
is
gonna
what it is.
I'm not gonna terminate the pregnancy.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what the test. If you're telling me you don't know what they are, then just leave it like that.
Yeah.
And like,
Wait a second. This is insane.
so your results can come back inconclusive if like, I don't know, they don't run the blood correctly or I don't know the fucking technicals of it. But they told me, they were like, listen, we don't want to scare you, but like they did come back inconclusive, so we can't tell you that like you're free and clear.
So you didn't take another test?
So I was like, okay, run a test, but like I'm not in a rush to do that because what does it fucking matter?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not just going to be like, oh, the baby is going to be Down syndrome, so let's terminate. I would absolutely never, ever, ever do that. So,
But isn't it important to, like, know so you can prepare and learn? And
I mean, yeah, but
That's
at
what
the
I
same
think the
time,
best
I
thing
was just
about-
like, it would have stressed me out for the whole time for me being pregnant of, like, my unknown of, like, how to handle the situation.
Yeah.
So, because I feel like when you hold the baby, you forget about nothing else matters. Like,
Yeah.
you're like, I don't remember any pain that I was in. I don't remember the epidural. I don't remember anything because nothing matters but the baby. So I was like, if that
can't even
comes
grasp
down to
that
the
concept.
case and that's what it is, then that's what it is. And like when I hold her, like nothing will matter anyway. Like, so I was like, whatever, just let it happen. And
Did they ever
then
update
I had
you?
to go because I'm O negative. I had to go for other test results down the road, and get my RhoGAM shots and all that. And they told me like, oh, just to let you know, like more test results came back and like we're okay. But I was like, okay, I wasn't even stressing it honestly and I didn't have an amniocentesis. I didn't have any of that. It was just blood work that you got done. So,
Jesus.
because they kept asking me, well, do you want to do an amnio and find out? And I was like, no, I don't want to.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't want to risk anything.
Yeah.
So,
Wow, that's wild. I didn't know about that.
I don't think I told many people about it just because I was like, once it was out of my head, it was out of my head. And
Yeah.
then my focus all this time has, been on Julian and his hearing loss. So I was like,
Yeah, it's crazy.
But it's like, that's why I was saying one pregnancy is different than the next because like, you jump that barrier and you're like, okay, everything's fine. And then like all you think of is like, oh, my Down's test cleared and like the baby has 10 toes and 10 fingers. And you don't think like, oh, what if baby can't see me or hear me? I was watching Creed 2 last night and the baby was deaf and I had to relive it watching the movie. I had to relive them like going through the hearing tests and doing all of that. And I like fucking lost it. I cried for like 45 minutes straight. Because I was like,
Creed. Isn't Creed like an action?
Apollo's Creed. It's
Yeah,
Rocky.
Oh.
It's like a Rocky spinoff. So we were watching Creed 2 and like he's pregnant and his wife is deaf. And so she was signing. So I was like, oh my God. And then they had a fear. They're like, it's passed down through. It could be
Is that
passed
true?
down. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It could be passed down through genetics. They were like, do you think she'll be able to hear it? And then they fucking did all the tests. And I just sat there and cried because I was like, I remember going through all these tests.
Reliving everything.
It was just way too hard. I wasn't prepared I didn't know that was part of the movie and I wasn't ready for it. And I just cried for 40 minutes straight. Yeah.
I mean, I understand. I mean, listen, technology, I've been saying this throughout this whole process. Doctors are incredible.
It's
Technology
amazing what they
is
can
amazing.
do.
I mean, the fact Julian can hear if he wants to, if he doesn't want to, it's his choice.
Yeah.
It's incredible. It's beautiful. And, even the fact they can test for this early is amazing. Even my next door neighbor has a 4-year-old, 5-year-old, and she was like, I can't believe you're finding out the gender. This baby's only 4 and I didn't know until 20 weeks. Like, we didn't know.
Yeah.
Like, it's just crazy how everything is, changing so fast. So I get why they do it. I get that, like, they're giving parents a choice. And then if you choose, you can prepare, you can learn everything, there is to know.
Yeah. I think it's good to educate yourself. I just was more like, I'll learn on the go.
Like, if you had found out that Julian was going to be deaf, maybe you would have, I don't know, but maybe you would have,
it would have taken
made
me the
yourself
same
crazy.
amount of time to like process all of it that it did for me that time.
You might have made yourself nuts reading about,
because then I would have had a
do.
fear of labor and like, oh my God, now nothing can go wrong because I don't want to hurt him anymore and whatever else.
It's incredible. So that test is coming up, but even that, I'm like, it's so bizarre that like I'm going to announce before I've even taken this test. There's just so much unknown still.
Yeah.
But I'm really like, I said to myself at the last ultrasound, I said, I'm going to be like, once I saw it wiggling and like doing like waving its hand, and, like, which is again,
you'll feel calm.
Even my mom was like, do you understand that like I had 2 kids and I had no idea that like even you didn't know those things back
it was
then.
different.
You know what
they
I mean?
used to have freaking cigarette ash. What is it called? The thing.
An
ashtray. They used to have an ashtray in the when they would do the scans to see if your baby was okay, like in the room. And moms used to smoke while they're. I remember my grandmother and my mom telling me this and being like, "Hey, they used to be able to have cigarette ashtrays all over the place, and like you were smoking up, and while your legs were spread, and they were checking the baby, and like." I was like, what? You're not allowed to have tuna now. Like, you're not allowed to eat tuna, but you were spread eagle with your friggin' cigarette in your hand. Like,
it's wild. And
it's just amazing. My mom's like, oh, we didn't have to worry about that. I'm like, yeah, Ma, you also had cigarettes in your thing. Relax. A lot's changed.
I also think, like, now that you can see that this early on, I mean, we saw the baby literally, like, at the touch of a stomach wiggle.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
I know.
So I think now people are like, whoa, a lot earlier, more concerned about the baby's welfare because it's an actual baby. It's not a fucking cell.
It's not like
you know what
bean,
I mean?
a kidney bean
Yeah,
that looks like
your bean. I'm like, nah, it's a baby.
No, it's a baby in there.
That shit fucking was like waving, like, yo, what's up? Then he was like, oh, look, it sleeps like me. I'm like, shut up.
It sleeps like me. Goodbye.
Don't forget, guys, new clips air every Thursday. So see you next Thursday.
Hosted on dimlywit.com.
Even though we are not your best examples,
We're the best you've got.
so cheers, bitches.
Cheers.
Make sure you subscribe to our channel for updates. And if you like this clip, share it with a friend.